It's Issuenight.
Hold on. I can't figure out what I'm doing.
I need help. I did not agree to being here.
Thank you for joining us for another edition of Issuenight. If you've never seen the show, we talk about important and serious issues of the day. We are live streaming on YouTube, and I think there's a button on there that says subscribe. So we're asking you, just if you don't mind, if you can press subscribe. That, you know, we won't say anything else, but just please press that. And why don't we get on to our first set of issues? And some people like to call it Ask Jake.
Ask Jake.
So we have a guest on our show we don't know much about, so we thought we'd take this opportunity and ask him questions. So,
hi, Jake. Welcome.
Thanks for having me, guys. I am prepared to call myself the biggest fan of the show.
Wow.
Out there, so it's an honor to be here.
1 of 5.
Yeah. But number 1 out of 5.
Biggest of the 5, yeah.
Of the 5.
I'm prepared for all your questions.
Okay. Well, tell us about yourself. Like, why did we invite you?
Well, I think you invited me probably because of my charm and wit, I would assume.
Oh.
Also, I'm great at
botanist?
getting chips in my mouth.
Oh, okay.
If they're flicked in my direction. That was not well flicked.
That's not flicked.
Operator error.
But I don't know. How local do we want to get here? I'm a teacher. Part of this group of people.
No names, no schools, no people.
No names.
No.
I have a name and a school.
But nothing like that.
But we're not sharing them
at all, really.
Top
about
secret.
Yourself.
It's not top secret. It's just the internet. You know,
okay.
Like I don't want we don't want that information on.
No, but we are streaming this live to all your students.
Well, if you put it on the internet, no one's going to know. So it stays secret. It's kind of like a good friend who says, you know, can I keep a secret? And they say yes, and you know they're always going to do that. Yeah, so it's the same with the internet.
Never get back to your But you
don't mean live
principle.
Like, really live, like
it's live. I mean, we're live.
There are people watching this live.
There's at least 4 alive.
There's going to be a
5
with that.
There's some.
Well, you're on the show, so it's 5 minus 1.
Yeah, right.
Right. So.
Well, somebody's going to have to pick up the slack for me.
That's true.
All right, Jake. What we're told. Someone told me that you cook. Yeah. And we have an image here. I'm just wondering if you ever cooked something like this up on here.
That's
not a J.
That's not it. Click it. There we go.
I have not cooked anything like this, but I know what this is.
Yeah, this is actually
what
igloo.
Is it? Okay, so we don't know what it is. That's what we're asking you.
This is igloo meatloaf. Did I say that right?
So it's not a cake?
Igloo meatloaf.
Now,
it's a meatloaf.
Eskimos make that?
No, this is something. It's like 1860s-ish. Foreign dignitaries would feed this to one another or serve this to one another.
Okay.
And it was kind of a test where if you ate the whole thing, great. But then if you ate that little piece of curly parsley there in the corner, that immediately.
No.
Really?
So it was foreign dignitary politics kind of thing. But it's igloo meatloaf.
So it must take first you got to build the igloo, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to cook in the igloo, which is tricky because the igloo will melt.
Right.
So it sounds like a whole process. Did this take off or did it fail because of those reasons?
It worked several times. It killed several dignitaries.
Well,
then people started to catch on to it.
Tony, it's not an igloo. You can't say that anymore. That's it's indigenous people's domed home. So
it just didn't roll off the tongue as well then.
Yeah.
Now I know some of the history of this. You would basically I can't know where my camera's. Basically, the Eskimos would be inside the igloo, and
can't call them Eskimos anymore.
The indigenous Eskimos would be in the. They'd be in the igloo, and they dig dirt and see how you get the dirt. You have to fill it with dirt. You keep on filling it with dirt.
Well, you'd fill the igloo with dirt?
Well, that's what that is. That's dirt.
Wait,
dirt.
That's not because that looks like the inside of like a Scooter Crunch. Like you come into that like kind of crispy, chocolatey.
Well, the actual one would be dirt, inside, and on top would be.
There's dirt in Scooter Crunches.
No, I mean the igloos that they used to make. There's no dirt in Scooter Crunch.
So you don't think they pile the dirt and then put the ice around it and then dig out the dirt?
The ice is easier to do first, and then
is it?
Yeah, I would say so. And then the problem is you don't want to bury yourself alive.
Tom, that's not how the indigenous Eskimos do it.
So there's a hole at the top, right, of igloos?
No, that's teepees, Tony. Teepees have holes.
So this is the one on the side. That doesn't sound easier. How do you get the dirt in through the side?
You dig down. You dig down in the ground and
you bring up dirt from inside the igloo.
Right, from inside the igloo.
Right, until you've got it filled.
Exactly.
You back yourself out.
The hard part is making those shavings off to the left there. Like those little, looks like it's cut. little moons, half moons there. I think make things.
Yeah, it would take hours to do that.
It would take a long time to do that.
Oh.
I don't know what I don't know
Jake,
what
what's
we're
the
talking
topping
about.
on top there though? Is it's orange? Did someone drip candle wax on that or?
I think if you look closely, it is melted cheese on top, which just adds to the confusion. How did they melt the cheese without melting the ice on the outside? But there's actually a hole under that cheese, which was used as an emergency
I see.
escape.
See,
But they cover it
I
up.
thought there was
But
a
you can't
hole.
put that in until it's
After.
filled.
Right.
Gotcha.
Okay, so tone, that's regulation like on a native what do we say? It's native
Domiciled,
people,
ice domicile place. Yeah, you got to have two means of entry and exit. So that would be
So
so you would
code.
need an emergency ladder, I think.
okay,
I
and
don't
then
see
some way
egress
to
there.
cut through the cheese, maybe like a large blade, but not a sharp one
okay.
because you might
Tone, that's
hurt somebody.
Yeah.
And there's rules, maybe personal protective equipment, like with a glove, those mesh gloves. So you'd be cutting, and then and you'd be on a ladder, and so you probably wouldn't need fall protection. But it wouldn't be a bad idea too. Like,
All right,
with
I didn't-
hook off
Always
things.
good to have fall
I didn't ask
protection.
for any of that. But Jake, what I
Sure,
was
no problem.
asking was
Happy to help.
do you when you cook, do you have to make sure there's two exits out of that igloo? Native
Indigenous
domicile.
people.
Yeah.
Assuming I'm cooking in an igloo.
You're cooking this.
Oh, I'm cooking.
that
I've never
we're
cooked
showing-
that. I've just
yeah,
seen
but
it cooked.
well, if you were forced to cook it, do you have to put two exits?
Right. Yes, because otherwise fire code shows up and you could get cited and you could end up in prison. You could have serious prison time if you're not properly
Exited.
coding or exiting your
The
igloo
the indip-
domicile.
The indip
And fire suppression.
additional people.
To put out the fire, because if the fire takes off, what do you got?
Right.
You got a puddle.
And this is why in the 1860s only dignitaries were making this, because it's hours of time and labor and money. It was not easy to do. But
Or tax money at work.
cooking these days
Yeah.
is much easier now. It's why I enjoy
What do you cook?
cooking.
What do you cook now?
I just love to cook for people.
Yeah.
So if somebody
Indigenous
has
people.
a favorite, if they're indigenous, sure. If they're not indigenous, if they're ex-indigenous or whatever they may be,
Anti-indigenous.
anti-pro, whatever it ends up being, yeah. If somebody has something that they'd like to try, I'm open to trying it. But I just like cooking Indian food or
Can you say Indian, Jay?
I
say
don't
Indian.
know. I don't have the book on me.
Indian
but you're
food? I don't think you
supposed
say
to.
Indian. I
don't
think it's
Indian
Native American food.
this
Well,
is
But it's not Native American, so
Right.
how do you say
It's-
it?
Well, it's from India.
India.
But it's
Of
not.
India?
But they weren't Indians. It's Native American food.
These are
The native from India people food.
Well, no, they're not like when Christopher Columbus came over, he thought they were Indians, so he named it Indians, but they're not. They're indigenous food, indigenous food.
Yeah, but the
Right,
food
but if
is
you
still.
if you keep going, you get to India, and that would be native India, indigenous India food.
Well, that'd be true Indian food if you made it to India, but this is
Right.
Native American food.
Okay.
Well, let's ask Jake which one he makes.
Which one do you make, Jake?
This is food that is made anywhere and brought to India, like New Delhi, India.
Oh,
So it could be made anywhere.
So a
but
So
it
deli?
you
end
got to
up-
make it.
In
You
a-
got to
Italian
make it.
deli
You make it in a
India.
deli?
Yeah, it has
You
to
make
be made in a
it.
deli.
Okay, so you got to make it outside of India, and then you got to bring it there.
Right. For it
Okay.
to be.
Can you ship
qualified.
it there, or do you actually have to bring it there?
Are you familiar with destination of origin protected food from Italy? Are any of you
What's the
Italian here?
acronym for that?
DOP.
Well, yeah.
There are DOP labeled foods that have to come from a certain region in
Oh,
Italy
right.
in order to be considered DOP. So there are DOP foods here, but all Indian food is kind of the same way, where you have to make it somewhere in a deli in another country. It has to be brought into India.
with that accent.
I see. I'm
exactly.
familiar with the DOT food, the Department of Transportation. When you go down the throughway and you get off, there's usually a McDonald's or Burger King. I'm familiar with that.
Like a rest stop.
Not DOP though.
Right. This
Yeah.
is DOP.
They had those in Italy, remember, Mike?
DOPs or DOTs?
No, those rest stops with food.
Oh, they were amazing. Oh my gosh, they're so
Yeah.
amazing. Like, yeah, totally. I remember stopping and everyone's like, "What was it? What was it called? Do you remember?" Auto grill. Auto grill. It was
Okay,
amazing. Where
I
we
think
have to.
losing
we're off the
focus.
topic of food.
So Jake, they're also saying that you were involved with bubble hockey at one point, or tell me about that.
Well, yes.
Okay, that didn't really answer the
It's
question.
actually
I mean,
very hard to talk about. Thank you very much.
okay.
But if you must know, yeah, I am a former bubble hockey player survivor. and I have escaped the bubble hockey world. But
We do have an image of you playing bubble hockey.
number 8 right there in the red.
That's not the actual. This is an artist interpretation because obviously that does not
okay.
look like
No
him.
cameras
But
allowed.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait, was it like this is a photograph of Guy Lafleur? So does that mean you're stuck in the bubble when they take your photograph, or did they take your photograph, or did they just cram you?
Well, again, it's difficult to talk about.
yeah.
All right, Tony, how
okay.
do you get a person in the bubble? Like, what do you
Well,
do?
I mean, he was a bubble hockey player, so I assume at this one point you're this tall.
Well,
Have you guys ever been abducted by an alien? Any of you?
once.
It's kind of the same. It's kind of like a similar thing.
Okay.
So they because
Yeah,
we're on
they.
the
Of
internet,
course
I don't
it's
want
they.
to say them.
Yeah.
Three guys.
They
in
just
a
kind
row.
of show up
Mm.
and they take your consciousness and compact it,
Huh?
and then they link you with all of the other bubble
Right.
hockey players in
Okay.
the world,
Yes.
and they shrink you down,
Mhm.
and you get placed into the bubble, and it's
Right.
actually very difficult to escape. Only 7 people have ever
I
escaped.
understand that they trained you for weeks on end. I believe it was. That's not it.
18 hours a day.
This is they put you in this type of bubble,
Mhm.
in real life.
Right.
Practice being in a bubble.
Practice being in a
Okay.
bubble,
Okay.
and then being bounced around and stuff,
Right.
and then
Okay.
they
Right, because you can't
micro-
go right from that.
you can't
to-
go right
But if
from
you're in
that.
that bubble, you only have so long, right, before you run out of air,
Right.
and then you got to somehow get out of that.
You
bubble,
can't go to this
right?
away. Yeah.
Okay.
But you are not really human when you reach that level. Could we get that picture?
Yes.
Sorry.
You mean the flat one? This is
Right.
again. This is artist rendition
right.
because
the
it's
flat
not
one.
actually
Right.
you.
Right.
That's
so
just-
that
It's actually Guy
when you have
Lafleur.
bubble
Yeah.
hockey in your
Right.
basement,
Artificially.
you actually are not no longer human. At some point in the process, you don't become human, and then it's only once you escape that you can actually regain your humanity.
So you weren't born a bubble hockey person. You were born
right.
human and then became bubble hockey. So
Mhm.
you didn't follow the normal
Right.
protocols. So that's interesting. So you went from in the round plastic thing falling over
Mm.
to an actual
Mhm.
plasticized, can't move
Right.
form.
Yeah. And so I played for about 9 years
Wow.
in the bubble hockey league.
Yeah.
Um,
Score any goals?
I wasn't a goal scorer; I was a defensive
Did you
player.
Did you ever move up or down in the leagues, or were you always in the same bubble?
I was always just good enough to stay in the top league
Mhm.
in the bubble hockey universe. I never got relegated. It was close one
Oh.
time. I was injured. It was ACL problem.
Is it like
which-
soccer, where the best teams are elevated to another?
Right.
Because I've only seen the
Exactly.
bubble hockey games. I've never seen any other type of game whatsoever other than bubble hockey.
Right.
Well,
'cause
there was the Canadian American,
Right, and the
then
USSR, sir.
USSR American.
Or
So I forget which one.
CCCP.
Which one's higher?
CCC.
DOP.
Right, DOP. Department of
Russia. I
Transportation.
think the USSR got relegated,
Uh-huh.
and then Canada took over. Right?
Canada took
So I got
over.
the right.
That's-
Yeah.
Yeah, they
right,
really just
exactly.
repainted the players, Tony. I mean, it was kind of a
Wow.
fraud. It was
It
a
was.
big scandal, and I'm operating this guy. I'm like, boy, he operates like
He looks familiar. Yeah.
Slovagard.
I know his moves.
Yeah,
Slovagard.
Slovagard
He
from the
lifted it.
CCCP
Yeah.
team, but it says Canada. All right, so. All right, did you get a share of the quarters, or how did that work? I mean,
Yeah, they pay really, really well.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, once I escaped, I was not able to take any of my money with me.
Let's explore
Wow.
that. Let's explore that. So, escaped. What does that mean? What does it mean? Is it kind of like Shawshank Redemption type escape? What kind of escape are
Yeah.
you talking
yeah,
about?
Have
did
you
you
guys
go
ever-
through a sewer or what?
There were sewers. Yeah.
Hmm.
Have you guys ever seen those stories of people escaping from North Korea? You guys ever heard anything like that?
No.
So you need to leave. You need to escape the bubble hockey, and I found a truck that was loading and unloading, and
A truck
Under-
like outside the bubble or in the bubble
Outside the
or
bubble.
under the bubble?
it was outside the bubble.
How did you get? Okay.
And they
Right.
they back up to the bubble, and then this kind of thing opens up, and they're able to unload and
Yeah.
load things
Like
that they
what
need to
kind
get
of
in and out.
stuff do?
Nets, future players,
Oh.
sticks,
Okay.
human consciousness, that kind
Oh.
of thing.
Gotcha.
And I went under the truck, and I held on to the bottom of the truck until it was gone, and I held on to that truck for about 17 hours.
Now you were small at this
Right,
moment. You
right.
would have been tiny,
Right.
and the truck would have been big.
It was
And so
scary.
you must have been grabbing onto like part of a spring.
It was a
or,
screw,
or
two screws,
Okay.
yeah.
So wait, there's nets. They had nets in this truck because I've sometimes the nets are you shoot that puck and there's a rip in the net and they never replace it. So you're saying they do have replacement nets?
Yeah, you might be playing in a different league. Like top league
Right.
always has the right nets, but
Yeah.
you might have been. I don't know. You
Yeah.
might have been
Like
playing
if
in a
you're
different
playing in the
league.
Russian league, I mean, they spend money on the replacement stuff, but it never actually makes it onto the ice. You know, people take that and resell it on the black market. The maintenance people.
I don't think you can say Russian, Tony. So no, that's,
sorry.
so-
Why don't you just
USS
can you come up with a list of things we can
are-
say for future
it's
reference?
it's in a book. I'll try to get it. You know, yeah.
As a short
Okay.
book, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the actual truck that you left
Yeah.
in. If you remember.
Yeah, that's
Jake,
actually really difficult for me to look at.
Yeah,
but
that's why we're gonna blow it up
Yeah.
and not really make
Perfect.
it uncomfortable for you.
Yeah. So yeah, 933 miles. I held on to the bottom of that truck.
14 hours.
Once they crossed.
Which bolt? Where were you? I mean, this is kind of like Toy Story. Right?
Well, I don't think you can really see it, but it's
Well-
behind that back tire there,
I see.
and then in about 4 feet,
gotcha.
and then left
Right.
like the center about
Yeah, I
2
saw
Okay,
feet.
that.
so wait, go back to the truck. Like, why?
Uh,
I mean, are that many people ordering bubble hockey that we need a truck for? I mean, don't they just? I mean, how many places are like, hey, we need a replacement bubble hockey? I mean, we
3
need a
or
truck.
4.
They actually need like, look at that thing. It's like a
Well,
26-foot
it's
truck.
I mean, there's a lot
that-
of bubble hockey, so you got to go to each one, right?
Yeah.
Although you said 14 hours and
Right.
900 something miles, so that's 66.6 miles an hour. So the guy was speeding.
did they stop? That's interesting. Did they stop? Because you were holding onto that screw. I mean, you must have gotten tired.
Well,
Do you have
in-
superhuman strength as a ball hockey
it's
player?
like a different level of strength. Like you don't need any strength. It's kind of like it's unlimited strength, but no strength at the same time.
Oh.
Kind of because you don't have
Oh,
muscles. Like
yeah,
you're
you have
thinking
those
about it from a
plastic
human, right?
arms,
I see.
Right. And I just locked on.
Oh, I see. Oh.
I could have stayed on there for days if I needed to. Once we crossed the border, I just jumped off and was home free
Jumped off where? I mean, did you land on something? Like
on concrete.
And then you just, were you like
Got off,
stiff?
walked, and then got off, walked, and then I was in Bulgaria at that point. You guys ever been to Bulgaria?
I have not been. I'm like
really,
Canada, really.
Did
Tony.
you make that up,
Close,
or is
Jay.
that an
That's
actual
not a
no, it's a
country, I
real
think.
place,
Bulgaria.
and
I don't think it's real.
there's one doctor in the whole world who does the de-plasticking surgery.
yeah.
So I went to Bulgaria,
Okay.
and it's incredibly painful. Takes 3 or 4 days.
Going
but
to Bulgaria is painful, or
not the Bulgaria part, the plastic removal where
Oh, I
they
see.
rip your skin off,
right?
and then
But
or
you-
rip your plastic off. I
So
should say.
under the plastic, there's something soft and malleable.
Yeah, it was me. I mean, they shrink you
Oh.
down and they take your consciousness.
Oh.
But
How did they? Where did you find your consciousness? How'd you get
it was
back?
still in the truck. They keep them in the truck.
Oh, but how do you know it was that truck that happened to pull up?
Still
that
in the
day?
truck.
So that
Oh,
truck,
I see.
That's why it's going to be
I
so
got you.
big.
Yes,
yeah,
right.
for sure.
did they have replacement like the what do you call it? It's the box that has the ice that will flash. You know, you put in a quarter, and 2 minutes
the
later,
Jumbotron,
it
Jay?
flashes. Yeah, the Jumbotron. So did they have replacement Jumbotrons, and did they have replacement light bulbs that the ice blinks? Because sometimes just the C and the E are blinking.
You don't have
But-
to answer that question if you
Well,
don't feel comfortable about that.
The light bulbs.
Seriously.
The light bulbs. There is one extra light bulb that they keep, but the light bulbs actually last for, I think, 16,000 years. So
I want to get back
They're
to
good.
Bulgaria, okay? All right,
Sure.
Jay's really trying to get us off
don't go
track
back to
here.
Bulgaria.
This is Bulgaria right here.
Oh.
I don't know where
So
that
is
is.
a place.
Actually, there's a doctor's office right there.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Can you zoom in
Yep,
at
I
top
see
right
the
corner?
sign.
Try
Yep.
it.
That looks like the Basilica, Mike.
Scroll in.
That could be Lackawanna.
That could be, but there's no spears.
No, but you see the Basilica. There it
marble.
is. Yeah. So
Oh,
Yeah,
there it
right.
is. Oh, yeah,
So
you're
if
right.
you
That is
see,
it.
can we do one more? Oh, down and to the left.
Okay,
Down and to the left. Yeah.
Drag that around. No, drag your.
If we
drag
can.
The top off. Okay, I don't know.
It's the
we-
the little blue
okay.
bulbus, that little top dome.
So
That's
you
where
had the
surgeries are.
surgery, right? And then I don't know. Then were you
So that's the-
expanded in that
That's
time?
yeah, I was going to say that's deplasticizing.
Mhm.
How to make it bigger again, or does it just happen because of the
Do you
plastic?
start? Is it like Honey I Shrunk the Kids, and suddenly when they take the plastic off, you just start expanding,
No.
or did you add water like those sea monkeys, Jay?
Yeah,
no,
it's
it's like
monkey.
Tron. Because in Tron you can make yourself bigger or smaller. So right? Did you have a Tron machine?
It's similar. You guys are all kind of on the same, on the right path. But once they take the plastic
We all
off,
think alike.
it's kind of like when you pull, you order a mattress online and you pull it out of the box and it slowly expands.
Oh,
But I overexpanded. That's why if you go to any of the wide shots, you can see I'm bigger than everybody else.
That's one.
Yeah.
I don't see you.
And then our
Buffalo
live shot-
Lifesaver says that's not.
Oh, here, you are bigger.
Lackawanna.
Yeah, you can see. Like
You're much
they
bigger.
overexpanded
Jace,
me.
compared to
Well,
Jake.
it's not Lackawanna because there's no sun. That's what Buffalo Life. So I
Oh.
mean, we gotta. That makes a point. I mean, I don't think there's ever sun in Lackawanna. So
yeah, there is a sun in the picture.
Yeah.
What's her point? Yeah.
Is that
So wait,
AI?
Let's
Maybe.
let's keep
no.
on going here, guys. We don't have a lot of time with Jake. So you went back to its original size.
Mhm.
you're in Bulgaria. Where do you go next?
Once I got back to the size that I am currently, I spent a couple weeks vacationing, like kind of.
Vacation already?
Yeah, it'd been years. I was slaved for 9 years.
Did you have money? I mean, those coins that you saved from
It's real cheap in Bulgaria. It's
Wait,
real.
What
real
were you
cheap.
doing to save money? Did you have coins from when you were a bubble hockey player?
I would do. No, I can remember I lost all my money,
Oh,
but I did. I made money. I did
Odd jobs.
odd jobs
You
here,
cooked,
odds and
right?
ends. Cooked, cleaned a
They
window
made
here
the
and
igloos.
there. I was a potato farmer for a week.
Can't say igloo.
Actually,
I don't know. Indigenous
I think I did.
glue.
I think I
Some
did get
years,
these potatoes. Yeah.
Nice
I
work.
can tell from the smell.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, vacation for a couple weeks and hopped on a flight back here, and then about 9 years passed, and I ended up on Issuenight.
Did you? Well, it's awesome. Where they?
All right.
Did you have? Wait, just one more thing. Did you like get your mobility back right away, or were you stiff for a while? Did it?
Yeah, there was some soreness, and the recovery takes a couple weeks. So maybe that's why I was vacationing to kind of come back to the States fully
Okay.
mobile. If you
Jake,
will.
thank you. I mean, it's a little long-winded. Try to keep it a little bit shorter. Why don't we get on to our next set of issues that we like to call Planet of the Apes update. Periodically on the show, we talk about Planet of the Apes and what's going on with that. And now we find out they have Planet of the Apes insurance. We all know it's coming. They sell insurance. So the question is, do we need it? What does that protect us from? We do
No
have
idea.
we have one image. Oh shoot!
Sorry,
What do I have? Whoa, did I do
No,
that?
no, I did it.
Okay, you did it.
There you
All
go.
right.
Well, that's the wrong one.
All
That's
right. So,
that's
okay. Well,
actually
either way,
the-
okay.
that's actually. Well, I don't know his name.
is that?
Cornelius.
Is
holding
that
a
Planet of the
hawk.
Apes, or is that just a monkey holding?
Well, he's got
an
clothing on, so.
eagle? Okay, so if they have clothing on, it's Planet of
It's
the
Planet
Apes.
If they don't, it's not.
It's a zoo monkey.
It's a zoo monkey. Yeah, but you don't. You're not looking. You want. Let's see, Jay. You're looking at this guy.
He's holding a
That's not
bird.
it.
Is
That's-
that
there
what?
you go.
There we go. So, all right. So Tony, right? I mean, should we be getting this insurance? Is this a good idea?
Well, I mean, you get insurance for anything, and so the question is, what are you worried about? What are you
Well,
trying
we're
to
not
insure?
getting beaten by a shorter ape with a
Yeah.
club. That's what we're pretty much
Okay.
worried about, Tony.
So
I
the
am anyways.
probability that is pretty high. So the insurance is going to be pretty expensive. So yes, if you spend a lot of money, somebody's going to want to sell that to you.
Okay. So here's the thing from this picture. Like, as humans, we can't wear shirts anymore. At least if you're a man, you can't wear a shirt. So, is there insurance that would compensate me for the shirts I can't wear? Like, I have a drawer full of shirts. Are they going to give me $1 a shirt? Are they, how is this going to
Well,
work?
Jay, this is that's really weird. I
Well,
mean,
that's
it's just
that's what
it's weird.
happens, Mike.
Yeah, but
I mean,
it's weird. I mean, like, you want insurance for wearing a shirt.
Do you
I'm
think
ta-
they're
we're talking.
interested in your shirts?
Well, he wants insurance for not wearing a shirt. And it depends on it. I mean, are you looking for replacement cost or are you looking for cash value?
I mean, are we worried about getting beaten up? Isn't that what this whole thing's about? Isn't that worried about getting beaten up? I mean,
Well, I mean,
why are you worried about a shirt, Jay?
both aren't, important, at least to Jay. So,
I mean, think about what's important, Jay. Getting beaten up is important, I would say.
I don't know.
A shirt is not important.
It could be cold. I might need something. I don't. I mean, if I'm gonna have a drawer full of shirts, I
I
why do
mean,
we
if
compensate?
you go out on a date, you want a shirt. So,
some stores, you need shirts for service. I think, right?
right? Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
No
but
shirt,
I don't
no
think there's any
shoes.
stores there, Jay. I mean, in Planet of the Apes, there were no stores.
I don't think he's well.
It's
He can't.
post-apocalyptic.
He can't go in any stores. If there were stores,
That's
Neither
yeah. That
the,
might be
the
why.
apes have clothes on.
That
They
could
can
be
go in.
why you never see the stores in the documentaries because nobody could go in them.
But these guys had no. These apes have clothes on. They have clothes on. Clearly, they have clothes on.
Well, they could have gone in.
They can go in. They ran the stores. I mean, there are humans running stores in Planet of the Apes. I don't think.
okay. So
Jake,
what
do you have
else?
any idea what we're talking about? Have you seen the
My
documentary?
concern. So you're worried about losing shirts and all of this, not your home, family, belongings, savings,
I'd like to be able to go.
car.
I'd like to be able to go
Sorry.
in stores. So I just thought.
Yeah,
maybe.
right. I mean, how are you going to eat if you don't have a shirt to go into a restaurant, for example?
Who sells insurance? Do the apes sell the insurance, Jay?
No, the
The apes are selling the insurance and doing the things
have,
that
like,
would require the
State
insurance. It's a
Farm.
racket.
Yeah, it's a racket.
Geico. There's riders you can get, right, Tony? I mean,
Yeah.
You can bundle them, right? You can-
Bundles, riders, tails. There's all sorts of different ways of setting it up. So yeah, I mean, what do you want?
All right. So also we have to protect ourselves from apes on horses with whips.
Why are the apes riding an inferior animal? The apes don't need the horses, do they?
Well, I don't think the horses would ride the apes.
The horses should be irrelevant to this, in my opinion.
They are irrelevant, and the clubs.
They're
I'm
riding
wondering,
them.
are those bat sizes like to size? Like, is it Major League Baseball? That looks shorter.
I think it matters. I mean, if you get hit by somebody on a horse with a club, it's probably going to do more damage than if you're not on a horse.
All right. So what part of the insurance do you need to protect yourself from an ape with a club or an ape with a whip? You know, what benefit does the insurance give you?
Well, you get money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, is the, like I said, is the insurance from the apes selling it to you or the humans selling it to you, Jay? I mean, who's selling you the insurance?
There's different markets. I mean, you could go to the ape market and the human market and offshore third world market. I'm sure would offer something. The quality might not be as good, but you know, for something as difficult to insure as this, you might have to go to that tertiary market.
Here's the thing. So the humans will sell the insurance and they'll say, hey, if the apes come and get your home, we'll compensate you for that. But, you know, what happens if they come to your home and you're just ready for them? You're just like, hey, just walk in. It's all ready to go. Is that insurance fraud because you're actually letting them walk in? You're sort of inviting them. Some guys have signs like, hey, apes, turn here. My home is 46, Maribel Lane. And,
It's my daughter's name.
No middle names, please.
Okay. So, come to my house and come on and walk in. I mean, is that fraud, Tony? Because you're sort of inviting the ape there.
Yeah, well, I mean, it depends on the policy. You got to read the policy, Jay. You can't just make a blanket statement like that. You got to know what the policy says, and it's a contract with the insurance company. And if you're going to, honor and expect to collect, you need to follow the rules of the policy, and then. It really ends up to the judge deciding, did you breach the contract, the policy or not.
Okay.
Do you think there are stand your ground rules for if an ape shows up at your door, you shoot and wound and or kill the ape? Is it a whole different insurance
We don't
policy?
advocate violence on the show.
If an ape shows up at your door, what are you going to do?
I mean, if you have the insurance, I think you can let them in. You'll get the compensation. But again, I'm looking at this picture. I don't think they're going to have money. I don't think there's going to be cash in this world. I don't really know what I'm going to get.
I don't get a sense that there actually is insurance at all. I mean, I get a sense that
Well, if you
maybe, Jay, there's nothing. Like, because this looks like this is a planet out of control. I mean, the Planet of Apes is like these guys are kind of, putting clothes on, but they're pretty crazy. And they're pretty nuts, and they're basically have clubs and stuff. I don't feel like they have time to sell insurance.
Well, I think that makes it important is why you should buy the insurance now while it's still available.
Oh, I see. This is before the apes take over. We're talking about insurance
This
now.
could be ape insurance propaganda for all we know.
Preparatory.
Yeah.
Okay,
Planet of
so
Apes
the
insurance.
apes are selling us this.
Wait.
Meanwhile,
There's no apes right now. They're not smart yet.
Well, we don't know that because
Well, I know that.
maybe they can come back in time and sell us this insurance and then use the money to build their ape planet so they're ready for us when we get there.
Yeah, it's really important to know who you're buying your insurance from. Get to the source. Find out.
Are they licensed?
Tony works for
licensed?
insurance.
Are they human? Right.
Right. I mean, all those categories.
Well, that one guy's human.
Well,
Right?
no,
He's human.
The person
that guy
selling
right
the
there.
insurance.
The guy
No.
right there is human.
The person selling the insurance, it's different. You're looking for a human, not an ape. If an ape, hey kids, if an ape is trying to sell you something, just don't buy it. We say this all the time in the show. It's just worth repeating again. So
don't buy insurance.
this
Don't
guy's
buy
doing here.
lollipops from them.
Thank you for being brave enough to deliver that message.
Thank
Because not everybody is these days.
Yeah.
No, it's-
Don't buy advice from them.
No.
okay, if you just joined us, you're watching Issue Night. We talk about important, serious issues of the day. And whoa, why is this here? Do I even my mouse even work?
I don't know what you're doing.
All right, so our next set of issues are
What are
I
you
can't even.
doing? What are you
All right,
wow, does that
sorry,
work?
environmental.
Environmental issues.
issues is coming up. Sorry.
Environmental issues.
Okay. So occasionally on the show, we talk about what affects the planet. And what we're
Apes.
looking at is a report here is that scientists are discovering that I guess it turns out that toads are actually they're frowning, and maybe at some point they used to smile, but now they're
What are you doing?
no.
Go back.
We switch it. Yeah, go to
how
that
about-
one.
Oh, you do it.
I'll do it.
Hit it. Hit it. There you go.
Okay. You go up.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Oh,
So I guess for some reason they've always studied toads. They know everything about. They know about the eye, the etymology, they've dissected these things, but they've just recently discovered that they're always frowning. So we're trying to get to the reason why the source is why are toadies.
why are we doing that? Why are we trying to get to the source of why they're frowning?
well,
Well-
we want to know what changed, right? I mean, if they were smiling and now they're not, something changed.
Right.
Well, there's people out there, Tony, saying that they always had this expression on their face. They never were happy in the first place.
Right.
I mean, when my kids pick them up, they just kind of pee on their hand. They never seem happy that a child is picking them up.
Right.
A toad should be happy.
Right. They're getting worse too, Jay. I mean, it's seriously getting worse. I mean, I actually don't know if it's a toad, but I think it is. And it's getting worse. The frown is more pronounced now.
More what?
More pronounced, pronounced like you pronounce something, like it's announced with pro in it.
So
Pronounced.
the toads aren't pronouncing words right. I mean, the
the frown is more pronounced. You can pronounce frown, can't you, Jay? Pronounce it. Say it. Pronounce it.
I am pronouncing.
It's more pronounced.
really
See
don't-
it?
I don't.
See, it's more
I don't
pronounced.
know why I'm being badgered here. We're just
you're
trying
just-
to do a
you're-
show.
I don't think
Pronounce
they have much to pronounce, though. I mean, it's ribbit, ribbit, ribbit.
Well, clearly they want more because this guy's not happy.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. There's definitely a difference there. I'm wondering if maybe it's kind of like, that spooky action at a distance thing where it doesn't, like maybe when you look at it, it becomes, or when you grab it or pick it up, it becomes unhappy. But as soon as you put it down and look away, it's happy again. Is that possible? Can we do like hidden camera
That's
checks
not
or
right.
something?
My bad. I don't know because I
Okay.
got distracted, so I don't know what you were saying.
Okay, so Buffalo Lifesavers, the environment is overrated. I think she means to say overheated. We all know the planet's getting warmer, so please use the correct terminology. She also thinks the toads are unhappy because they can't lick themselves.
That's weird.
Their tongues do this, right?
They go out and they don't go
You don't think they go
behind
up
them.
and
you
slap
know,
them?
And somehow it's a strange theory that we'd all be happy if we can only lick ourselves, but
That's really weird, Jay.
I think we can lick ourselves. I think the toad could.
Could you show us what that would look like?
Just
No,
stop right there.
I'm not here to demonstrate. I'm not not an animal, not some circus.
Anyways,
animal.
what's the problem here, Jay? So I mean, they're toads. I mean, who cares?
Well,
Like,
they
they're
finally
sad.
found
Who
out
cares?
they're studying them all this time. They're like, hey, they're frowning. Like,
Right.
what's going on here? And nowadays we need to be concerned with emotional development of not just people but animals, right, Jake?
Mental
So-
health,
yeah.
important. Yeah.
Yeah. So you see something frowning, like obviously there's a problem with toads, and
Yeah, so we need to provide some funding for the schools and the study, the people who study this kind of stuff, the Psychology of Toad Research Institute or whatever the acronym is for that, and give them some grants and let them figure it out, and I'm sure they'll come up with some pliable solutions that we can implement in a few years.
You sound like a politician, Tony.
You're welcome.
Where are we going to pull the money from to fund
See,
this toad mental health?
Isn't that it? Isn't that what I'm talking
problem?
about?
There's a problem.
It's
and
a
it needs
problem when
to
you
be funded,
cannot
but
fund
where
things.
do we?
You want to use money, but you don't fund things.
Where do we get
you
the
don't need
funds
to
from?
raise
Where
your
are we
voice.
pulling from?
No need to raise.
I
your
didn't
voice.
raise it. I just spoke louder.
This toad in particular looks like it's not frowning; it's fuming. This toad is furious.
He's just you're right. He's got that look. That
Well,
I've
again,
been looking into his eyes.
kids just
James
picked up the
Bond.
toad. Again, kids have always been friendly to amphibians and toads. I've always seen a couple boys get them. I mean, they're normally gentle. I mean, I don't understand it. I don't understand why a toad has to pee on someone. I mean, you can use facilities prior to being picked up, or you can just hold it. It's not a big effort, and just for crying out loud, hold it. Don't pee on my kid's hand. So,
I just
I'm just thinking maybe we could, as far as the funds, have a fundraiser.
Right.
Maybe have some toad races and raise some money.
That's right.
We could bet on the toads and that excess.
in New York State, it's very legal.
Oh well, I mean, go across the border or something.
Right. No, it's legal. In New
Oh,
York
it is
State,
legal.
yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
No, if you bet though, know your limits.
Stay with
Bet
that.
wisely. Stay in them.
Yeah.
So, good point.
But really, though, you want to think about what's the goal here? What are we trying to accomplish? We're trying to help toads be happy. We're trying to bring joy to them. And I just want you to think about that. I have an artist rendition of what a happy toad would be, and this is what it is.
Okay.
So really, we want this, and doesn't it make you feel great?
If you saw that on the side of the road, you saw a frog smiling like that, that'd be unnerving.
There might be a fly
I don't know about
heading
that.
their way.
Yeah,
They're
I
eating, but-
personally think someone put something wired in the mouth, so it kind of like the wires underneath the gums, and it's just kind of it's probably protruding back towards its brain.
Jay, Photoshop. You can do that with Photoshop now. Anyways,
I think they used real wires, but that's just me. Okay, if you just joined us, you're watching Issue Night. We talk about important, serious issues of the day, and I'll just get under our last set of issues, which we like to call American history issues.
American history issues.
Tony, I copied this down. I have no idea what we're talking about. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I think we need to kind of set the record straight. There's a lot of revisionist history being taught, and so I think we should just kind of review our country, its start, its founding, and make sure that everyone knows where we all came from. So, for example, it all started with the colonies, and which became states. And I don't know. They said there are 13 of them. I'm wondering, does that sound right? Because that's what they're teaching in schools.
That's not right.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't sound right to me. 13's not it's an unlucky number, so there's no way. I mean, some of those people were superstitious back there. Not all of them, but some of them. So I'm thinking that wasn't the right number. So maybe we can list the states. There's all those new
Atlanta,
California,
yeah, there's Plymouth Rock. There's Key West.
Newfoundland,
All the new states. Yeah, Newfoundland, New York, New England,
Nigeria.
Newsboys. And then there was the Virginia, right?
West Virginia,
West
So
Virginia,
the Battle
East
of West
Virginia,
The
South
Battle of
North
West
13
Virginia.
right there.
North and South. I mean,
It's a
there's,
song.
I mean, all of
Dakota.
Virginia, right?
It's a song.
Same thing for Carolina. I think there's North,
West
South.
Sweet Caroline
Carolina.
was one.
Okay.
So that's more than 13.
and George Washington had his own state.
George
Then,
Washington
I
State.
remember.
Yeah,
George
yeah,
State.
Okay.
Georgia State.
George State.
Georgetown.
Georgetown.
Yeah,
I believe.
I don't
could
think
be
he
mistaken.
ever went to his own state, but you're right. He had his own state. So, okay, so we have more than 13. So this has been wrong for a while.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
this image is wrong. But now
Was
those aren't even colonies. I mean, those are states.
Why is there a Cyclops pilgrim there? Why?
That's actually actual size, I believe. But
Well, Cyclops are larger.
With the Jolly Green Giant maybe making his way through.
It's kind of a strange way to draw a
Yeah,
pilgrim.
very
that's
strange.
all. So
what was that? What's the problem here? Revisionist history. I mean, what is this
Well,
woke agenda? What are we talking about here?
We just want to make sure that it's right. So it's important that we list the founding states and the founding fathers, and just so that we're teaching our kids the right information. Seems important to me.
So, did the founding fathers find anything? Did they find something?
well, that'd be the Finding Fathers.
Founding
you know,
fathers. I know it's a
So-
restaurant. It's a restaurant downtown Buffalo, but
Beer, yeah.
there's-
I mean, what's the plan here? What's the
Yeah,
end
well,
goal
if-
here? What are we trying to accomplish here? In
well,
this
I think
discussion?
we're trying to avoid revisionist history, but I think we just revised it because
We've
we're
done-
now talking. There's
yeah.
more than 13 colonies, and if I don't know, yeah. So
Yeah, I mean,
But
we just
if
got
they didn't-
back
if
to
they
the
didn't-
original.
right. If we didn't buy Baton Rouge, I mean, we wouldn't have donuts today.
yeah, that helped out. I mean, our country wouldn't be what it is today. So, well, enough said. All right. Well, I think that's all we have on the agenda. We just want to thank everyone who joined us on the live chat, and everyone else who tuned in to join us for informative nurturing issues that
Are we done? Because I'm trying to start the song here.
Goodbye, friends.
And nobody's
Ready?
singing. Okay.
on Issue Night.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for listening.
All right. I think that's it. Okay, that's show number 1. We stopped the show. Okay, we're actually still streaming live, so careful what you say.
Not live, right, though?
We are, well, yeah,
What?
back to that. But so I think in the future here, because the goal was to take issues and like edit them and upload them after we're done the best issues from each show, which is still the goal eventually. But
Okay.
But none of us have enough time to do that. So my thinking is from now on we should stop show 1 and end it, and then just let people know we're going to be recording another show soon, and then come up again. I don't know how that affects our numbers. We might go down from 5 to maybe 3, but maybe we need to, we have this stuff in between. I mean, you let us know. Do you like hearing in between shows what we're talking
The
about?
setup,
The setup,
prepare for the next one.
I mean, do you like this? If not, I don't know. We could just do this and then we have them done. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, if that's easier editing.
It's easier. I mean, it's less. I mean, I still want to edit. I have these shows. I have 2 shows with a sandwich in the middle of us doing this.
Okay.
And this is time for people to go and get a sandwich or a drink
pee.
or use the restroom.
Yeah.
Or let their dog
I don't know. What are you
out.
thinking? What are you thinking, Jay?
So
cheer up their pet frog.
But
Wait,
if
are
people
you-
are watching
on
our
the
stream, we
families.
might lose them. But if they like it, they'll see us when we like a few minutes later we go back. I don't know. What should we do? Is anybody watching? Alexis is here.
yeah, it's Alexis says, "Yo, I'm here,"
That's all.
and I'm glad they know where they are. But
Oh, Emily likes the interlude. Yeah, I mean, sure. And this does give us a time for more issues. I mean,
She
you got
seems
issues.
Emily likes the interlude.
Yeah.
okay. All right, we need to hear from other people too, but
Just don't want.
so
I mean,
let
how
us
many
know.
people are watching, Tony? I don't-
just-
7.
Wow.
And so far,
the most ever.
Emily has spoken. So
Yeah.
Can someone speak? Are you on there too, Tony? Are you,
okay, 6.
I'm
You're not one of them.
I'm not one of them.
My wife's one of them, so
Okay.
yeah, okay. Julie. Oh, so someone who's not on just said they like the interlude as well.
How do you know they're not on?
Well, I'm guessing that could be Emily's mom, who may not
I don't see
have a
any
computer
name.
at her
These people
disposal.
could be doing a watch party. There could be dozens of people watching.
That's true. It's great
Oh,
point, Jake.
that's true. But we need you to watch on your own device. So I know it's socially
Oh.
acceptable, but just like take your own device and everyone get in the same room and watch it.
Right. 7
Simultaneously.
people
You might
in a
need
room
good
with
internet.
7 devices.
And if you don't have a
Help our
device, get
numbers.
one and make sure you're looking at it a lot.
2.
Like a lot.
Right.
So,
Too much.
All right. So what are we talking about on that show, Jay?
next show, if I can read it, has more American history issues. We do have we don't have a bubble hockey issue. We have a rounding issue and we have a black hole update.
Black hole update. Love
All
it.
right.
Yeah,
Do we want to? What do we want to start with? By the way.
I think we should do black hole. I mean,
Okay,
you
all right.
can't go wrong with
I love black hole.
kicking off black hole
Update.
with
Okay.
black holes.
All right.
Can you zoom
All right.
that? Make sure you zoom. Make sure you don't. Rowan's helping us over there. Make sure you don't like move your mouse. Things pop up on the image when you do that. All right, we got a bunch of black hole stuff ready to
All
go.
right. I'm ready here, Mike.
Tony,
so
do you want to
whenever.
start with some black hole information?
Data?
Do you have
Okay, sure.
information? Do you got some?
Yeah,
write it.
I'll
Call up
just-
something.
I'll,
I'll get some seed talk. going.
Wikipedia page kind of stuff.
Okay.
Sure.
No. All right.
Are you ready?
Who discovered the black hole? Yeah, you ready? Hold on a second. All right.
Okay.
Stand by. Ready?
You know what the thing they don't tell you about Issuenight is how cold it is in here.
No. No. You. Yeah. You.
Secrets? I'm not allowed to say that.
And Jay, thank you for joining us for
fingers are
another
numb.
edition of Issuenight.
cold here.
We talk about important, serious issues. We actually inform you sometimes. We give you legislative updates, Planet of the Ape updates, bubble hockey updates, space station updates. I'm going to stop. Don't forget to subscribe. We thank everyone for joining us for our
Thank
live
you.
chat. But make sure you hit that subscribe button because I don't know why, but I'm told to say that. Why don't we get on to our first set of issues that we like to call our black hole update. So periodically we talk about black holes. We inform you what they are. We let you know if there's a danger, if you should buy insurance, if you should send us a check. But Tony, what are we talking about today?
Well, according to NASA, a black hole is a region of space-time where gravity is so strong that nothing, including light or other electromagnetic waves, has enough energy to escape it.
No, I think it's been proven that things do escape. There's that axis, like
Those Hawking radiations. Stuff, yeah.
But so nothing really escapes.
Well, there's Escape from New York, and someone escaped from New York.
Yeah,
There's a
if you escape
documentary.
from
That's
New York,
different.
you can
So-
escape.
So there's
Might call
questions
New York
of-
State a black
There's
hole.
Escape from Alcatraz.
That's true for your money, at
That's-
least.
Alcatraz is pretty hard to escape from.
Now I
you know,
hear that
so-
when you actually go through a black hole, you can become like spaghetti, meaning like, can you change? Oh, there you go. Like this guy. I
Oh,
think he's what's the guy from that movie? Jay. What's the guy?
from a movie?
Jay, the movie
That's Da
guy.
Vinci.
No,
Documentary?
no, it was a no, not
okay,
documentary.
yeah.
No, it's a movie. He was like a Mohican, not a Mohican. He was in England. He's like, let's save it. Let's get the queen.
Is that the phone booth guy? He goes into
No,
a phone
that's
booth. and
no,
it-
that's
Oh,
Doctor Who. Not
Yeah.
Doctor Who. No, the
No?
guy. He's Mel Gibson played him.
I don't know who
not
that is.
Jesus. Yeah. Anyways, this is like the guy from. So, anyways, what you get kind of get like spaghetti ass when you go into black
spaghetti
hole.
eyes.
You kind of your body is like
Spaghetti.
the gravity kind of stretches your body and
Oh,
pulls you apart.
Because some of you are closer.
Some of you
than
closer than others.
Yeah.
further.
All right. So
parts of
Buffalo
you.
Lifesetter's good point here. She says Jesus could escape the black holes. Let's throw up the picture again. Is this Jesus escaping the black
He's
hole?
got a plate of spaghetti, so I don't think it's
Um,
Jesus, but
yeah, I didn't even know.
that is spaghetti. Shay.
Okay. I mean, Jesus could carry it. I mean, Jesus can do what he wants. He could
I don't
carry
think
plate.
Italians invented spaghetti back when Jesus was around.
Okay, so this isn't Jesus.
It can't be Jesus.
It doesn't
it's
look
that
like
guy.
the beard.
It's Mel Gibson.
I don't think there's a British accent. I
So
don't.
Mel Gibson
so I don't
with
think it's
spaghetti.
Jesus.
I'm pretty sure that's Mel Gibson
Okay.
because from that movie. Remember, he was.
No. From the documentary, which one?
It was a movie. It wasn't a documentary. It's a
No?
movie about Mel Gibson.
The black hole.
No, the black hole.
The
The
black
two.
hole, the movie?
Remember the two robots? Two
Well,
robots.
I'm getting information. What? Who's that?
in the
Oh,
black hole.
Braveheart. It's Braveheart. It's him from Braveheart holding spaghetti,
Oh.
but he's sucked in a black hole.
There were no
Okay,
black
so-
holes in Braveheart.
So it's not.
They're
Jesus.
not, but
Let's-
it's representative.
Was there
You can't
spaghetti?
change it halfway through.
there was one
there.
spaghetti. Yeah, there was a
There was
spaghetti
spaghetti in
scene.
Black Hole?
Yeah. But what's more likely, that Jesus would be walking out of a black hole with spaghetti, or Mel Gibson's walking out of a black hole with spaghetti? What's more likely of the two?
Probably the Mel Gibson one.
That's okay.
All right.
Anyways, I think the goal here is to determine like what is the goal? Why are we talking about black holes, Tony?
Okay.
We're just updating black holes, and
Okay.
they say that you can't get out, but we think you can.
Right.
Have you guys ever seen a black hole before? In your
Well-
own experience?
Well,
I was swallowed up.
do we
by
have the
one
picture?
once.
Do we have the picture again?
I don't know. We got Mel Gibson.
Okay,
Oh,
there we go.
there's
Let's
the-
go
there
back
it
to
is.
the
That
black
is
hole.
him.
So
That
you
is
know what
him.
this?
Look, go switch between.
I
those
mean,
two.
it really looks like a blender.
Okay, that's Mel Gibson and
Yeah.
Braveheart, and then that's Mel Gibson with the space spaghetti getting sucked into a black hole. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure.
He could be coming out of it too.
He could be coming out of it. Yeah, leave that there. So what's your point, Jay?
Well, forget the person
No
there.
pun intended.
I'm just saying, Jake's like, have you seen one? I mean, when I use a blender, that's what it looks like.
Right.
You know, and I mean, this
beauty
could be a
blender?
blend. This could be AI just putting a blender picture in.
So how do we know it's a black hole?
Well, because it's got that swirl and the plate of spaghetti.
Yeah.
There are a lot of colors going on there. That could be a
Spaghetti, I
blue hole,
think.
purple hole,
I'm-
tie-dye hole.
Now-
Tony, if you look in the black hole, you're going to see those two robots from that black hole movie.
Oh,
So
why won't you get sucked in though if you look at it? To
but
it that
I'm
way?
not telling you how to do it, Tony. I'm just saying if
Don't
you
you-
look in there.
so-
that's-
I think you need special glasses to look at a black hole safely.
I think though, Tony, why are black holes important? Why is it important? Why do we even think about black holes? Because they're the cosmic vacuum cleaners, Are they going to suck up everything in the world, in the universe, and then we're eventually going to have, they're basically compressed, everything's compressed down to a single microscopic, infinitesimally small point in space and time.
It
not
seems
even
like
time.
it's inevitable. I mean, it's just like playing dodgeball. You could avoid the dodgeballs, coming at you, but eventually, one team or another is going to everybody's going to get hit.
Right, but space is so big. I mean, it's giant. So
Yeah.
the black holes are out there. We're way out there. So we maybe won't be able to get sucked.
Maybe we'll be able to stay a long time
Right.
away from them, right?
Uh,
And
maybe.
then if space expands the way they say it is,
Right.
yeah, that's possible.
Right. I mean, there's black
So-
holes on Earth. I mean, that can happen. Where
Well, that would be hard to avoid.
that's like the Vulcan when Vulcan was destroyed. Remember that?
Oh,
Jay?
the singularity,
Singularity.
drop.
I don't know if you saw the later Star Treks. Did you even see those, Jay? The later Star Treks,
I've stopped.
the newer ones.
Well, I mean, the document, you have to pay for them.
You do.
That was a problem. So, all right. So people are saying, like,
I
hey,
was
this
gonna
black
use
hole
that
doesn't look
joke.
powerful. You can kick a dodgeball through it. The plate of spaghetti. If a plate of spaghetti can get out of it, then you can get out of it.
I think the point, Jay, is not the plate of spaghetti. The point is that you become spaghetti if you go in a black hole.
Okay, so this is a
The
problem.
guys, I mean, if you carried spaghetti in a black hole, you would become spaghetti, and then the spaghetti, I don't know, it's already spaghetti. What would it become, Jay?
Okay.
What tier of black hole insurance do you guys have? I'm younger. I don't have the experience. You
Yeah,
guys.
so
What do
you're
you
looking to get
recommend?
some?
Yeah.
I don't have
Well,
any.
I mean, if you get it now, it's a lot cheaper than if you wait.
Right.
Problem is when it happens, like nothing is going to survive.
Yeah.
Nothing is going
Well,
to.
Tony, the problem is, okay, so say I get the insurance now and I go out to the black hole. And, I mean, won't it be like 300 years by the time I get there? And will the insurance policy still be in effect?
Yeah, I mean, types of insurance. It depends on the type of insurance you get. If it's a occurrence-based, it doesn't matter when it happens. You got coverage, so make sure you get that. Read the fine print. Otherwise, yeah, if it's a regular claims made, you won't have coverage, because the closer you get, the longer it's going to take to get there. And to your point, you could be billions of years old by the time you make it spaghettify and become part of the black hole. So yeah.
I'm looking forward to the spaghettifying. If we're being honest,
Right.
I've accepted
I
it.
like spaghetti.
Yeah.
But what shouldn't we be like? Is it very temporal, Jay? Is this really like thinking about like worrying about insurance about things like that? Isn't that like temporal? It's like, why are we worried about? Well, shouldn't we trust in the Lord? You know, the fear factor that the world's trying to do. Cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria.
Well, you have a good point. I mean, it's a complete waste of time, and the insurance would be just probably a complete waste of money. But, on this show, we need to talk about it. We need to waste that time. We need to encourage people to waste that money. And,
For their own good.
Well, and you got people here and they're making silly comments, on our chat board. And, everyone's like an internet doctor. And we're here to let you know, like, hey, stop playing around with this.
This
These
isn't
things
funny.
are serious. Yeah, it's
Not
not
a
funny.
joke.
Jake, Jake, you're getting emotional. So, I mean, that's why we're here. We're
Serious
here
to me.
to really, be the adult in the room. So, all right, why don't we get on to our next set
Do
of
it.
issues, which I think if I can get to them. You want to do we'll do Tony's. All right, you ready? This one's called American History Issues. So occasionally on the show, we like to go through maybe some issues with American history that people might have had, whether it's revisionist history or what, and just kind of set the record straight. So again, we also are informative on the show. Tony, what are we doing today?
So these are real New York State fourth grade questions that they have to answer, and so I figured we'll give the answers for real. So most of these are true or false, but we can comment on them. The first one is indentured servants work several years without pay. So what do you think?
What's the question?
Indentured
servants.
work many years without pay.
Is there a question in there?
It's an answer.
True or false?
True or false?
Yeah. And I guess we should talk this out. I mean, what is
What is an indentured servant?
Indentured
Like
Tony?
an
service,
elderly
so-
servant? In
No, that's
dentures?
like not dentures.
Oh.
No, I think that's what it.
Indentures.
Yeah, I think that's might be what you're right.
Why would you?
If I get dentures, I'd have to pay that off.
If you're indentures, but if you're not indentures,
right.
But you
Servant.
should.
So
you
these slave owners did offer good
Dental?
dental insurance.
I don't
It
know.
seems.
Okay.
I've seen some of those videos, and they don't have good teeth.
So maybe they didn't have the insurance, or they didn't pay it off.
We're talking a lot insurance a lot. Again,
Yeah.
it's very fearful.
But I think there's a way around getting insurance. I mean, if I go to my dentist and say I want some dentures, and I become indentured, can I pay it off by working for you? Then that seems legitimate.
True.
How long should it take though to pay off for dentures?
17 years.
17 years. Okay.
One for each tooth.
Yeah, if you amortize
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So I think we'll go with true on this one. Is that
True.
so?
Sure,
Okay.
Tom. Yeah.
Alright. So who is? Oh, this one's actually not true or false. Who's a person who buys and sells goods for profit? What are they called?
Bookie.
A small business
store.
owner.
A store
A
An American? I'm thinking American. Any
sells it for money.
Red-
Well, they
shark. Loan shark.
loan shark?
Loan shark.
Okay.
Okay.
They went with merchant.
That's one answer, but there's a lot of
Merchant.
answers.
Yeah.
So
not
someone who
sure.
makes money
They make money
by selling stuff.
by buying and selling
Just about
goods. Okay.
anything in the United
I
States.
mean, my
and
kids
Greater
sold
Canada area.
lemonade and they made $50.
So
Why
maybe
you
we
frozen
should
it?
change
They
that
only
one to
sold
all of
3
the above.
cups.
There are no wrong answers
There are no wrong
on
answers
this one.
for
I
that
think
one.
your
Okay.
battery
Mhm.
died. Jay,
Oh, mine did?
maybe.
Shoot.
I'll go wide shot for a little bit.
No.
Figure this out.
True or false? Lines of latitude go from east to west. Lines of latitude.
Lines of
It's really not an
latitude.
issue of east or west. It's not an issue of direction. I mean, latitude is, I mean,
Well,
if someone
you want
offends
latitude.
you,
You want latitude if
Yeah.
someone offends you.
yeah, I need.
You don't want longitude, so I'd say latitude, Tony.
Yeah.
You go with latitude. Okay. Good answer.
Thank you.
Oh, this one's worth double. Who is a pupil of a master craft worker?
Elon Musk.
Elon
Who's a
Musk.
pupil? Like the pupil of the eye?
Wait, Darren Pupa, the goalie?
I don't know.
All right.
No, pupil, Jay. Like the pupil of her eye.
That's not the hockey player.
No.
I mean, if he's a master
Camera's
craftsman, he's
dying.
got to have pretty good pupils.
Tony, the camera died. We have no budget to buy like these battery things.
Batteries?
Can you just move your camera to Jay and you?
Oh,
We'll do the same thing. Sorry.
Do they know that we're in the same room? Or is that
I
gonna
got it.
give a weird illusion? Of
It does. People. It does destroy the. Can you guys get closer?
Oh. Gosh.
so are you looking for an individual or the job title?
I'm just reading the question.
Because there are millions of pupils out there, right?
Oh, good point.
So once again, maybe there's no wrong answer here.
No wrong answer.
There's no right answer either.
True, a conundrum.
All right.
So which group of Indians fought for the British during the French
Na-
and Indian War?
Indigenous people,
Careful.
Just reading the
Indigenous
New York
people.
State
Tony.
4th grade. I mean, can we call them French?
No.
No.
No. That's
Well,
Can
that's
we call
not
them
good
British?
either. UK people.
Tone, you can spell the word, you just can't say it.
Oh,
Like when you're talking to a child, you could spell it, but you can't say it.
Correct.
Or a
yeah.
dog.
So they don't understand it. So correct. Yes, Jake. Exactly.
can I say Iroquois? 'Cause that's what the answer.
Well,
says.
that's my school district, and
that's-
they pretty much got rid of their logo.
Yeah, that's Tony. You can say it now. You probably aren't going to be able to say it in a
In the
couple
future?
months. Yeah.
Well, the
least
next
down in
question
Canada.
is similar. Which group of what we can't say fought for the country we can't say in the country we can't say in the description we can't say?
Too vague, Tony. I need some specifics.
Well, the answer is Algonquin. And I'll get
can't
that
say
out
that.
there right away because
Yeah.
pretty soon I won't be able to say that.
Say all you can right now. Algonquin. Algonquin.
Final
Algonquin.
question. A whaler is someone who hunts whales.
No.
No shot.
No.
That person should be in jail.
I'm a
That doesn't
whaler
even make
because I'm
sense.
from South Wales, but
Well, a whaler. I mean, there's a lot of whalers. I mean, they're disbanded now, but in Hartford they had. Let me see. Did you have the Stasny brothers? You had.
No, that was the
It's the Hartford
other guy,
Whalers.
the old guy,
Well-
and his two sons.
oh, that was Bobby Orr,
No, it was the other.
Neil
Guy
Peart.
LaFleur.
No.
He was like 52 years old, and his two sons are playing.
That was
on
Michael
it.
Jackson.
Yeah, that guy.
Okay. Why don't we get our next set of
Whaler
issues and
Villages. no, just in
don't
case
know
you
what-
didn't know. Go ahead, Jay.
Sorry. Let's,
So false on that one.
False.
Okay.
set of issues. No idea where
This might be our last set of issues. Here we go. Rounding issues.
Rounding.
And the show is
okay.
not immune from.
Where'd it go?
Well, I'm on Tony. We don't
Come
need
on.
to. We don't
Get
need to
closer
put
to go.
you. All right.
Get in there. Get in there.
So
Together.
the show's not immune to talking about mathematical issues, and now there's a rounding issue. Tone, what is it with money?
Well, with any really number, well, not any number, specifically the number 5.
Okay.
That's
So
yeah, that's problematic. You get about 4.9. You know, you're going up or you're going down. 4.999. You're going up, you're going down. You
Right.
get 5. Why? I mean, you think of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's
5.
5 numbers. But 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 4 numbers. That's unfair.
It is, and I mean, they're literally caught in the middle. And for all these years, the rule has been round up. You get the 5, round up.
Right. New York State is changing this, Tony.
Yeah, because it's not fair that they always have to round up. So I'm not sure what the final bill was, because there's different thoughts. You know, do we do it temporarily? You know, for a few years just to even it out? Do we make it permanent?
no, you got it. You do it with the change in time, Tony. So like
Oh.
it's fall back. So
Right.
your
Round back.
Your $5 bill is now worth $1. Or is it 0, Tone? I don't know. It's,
Jay's
Yeah,
got it.
there it is. So
Okay.
5 goes to 0.
okay, so
Zero.
so
Six.
right now your $5 bill is not worth anything.
Wait a minute. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers there. And 0, 1 through 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers there. So that seems. Sorry.
Yeah.
So are we reordering the numbers? Is that what
I'm
we're
just
doing?
saying it's not fair. I mean, you only got 4 numbers there for rounding
All right.
because you can't include a 0. Yeah. 5 or 6. Hard to say.
Yeah.
What if
So-
we-
so
what if
if
we-
we're
Do you
gonna buy
include-
a bunch
Do you
of
include 10? I don't know.
What if we made a new
$7
number?
items, and they were, $5 each, and it came to $35, I might say, I'll just round up and give me 40.
Speaking
But
of
why are the $7 items now worth 5? Why?
it's not. You're just rounding up. You know when you go to the
That's
store.
a double rounding. That's against the Constitution.
You know when you go to the store and they say round up for rehab, run up for rehab. You know, like
I don't.
people wanna go to
Again, I
rehab.
follow the schedules because I tell them, hey, it's fall back, so I'm not going to round up to anything. And
Well, yeah.
and that's illegal. They can't ask me that until spring. Then they can ask me
Yeah.
that.
They can
So-
ask you. You don't have to say yes.
Well, you have the right to say, well, at now, you need to round down.
You
So
got
if
the
it costs
right to remain silent too. Tony, but-
$35, you can say, well, I'm only going to give you 30, and they have to take it.
Yeah, but it's don't say, don't tell. So I don't.
Just
I don't,
say no.
No, I don't have to say whether I'm rounding up or rounding down, right, Tony? I mean, but I can tell on them if they tell me to round the wrong way.
Okay. Oh, sure.
Okay.
There's an example of rounding near
Jake,
1,000.
What if we created a new number
Oh,
to add to the rounding? So then we would,
Like a constant,
and each
like a rounding constant.
side of 5, we would have a new number
But look
to
at that. Go back to
round into.
Well, this is a good example. Now, this is what New York State's trying to do. Basically, if you have 5,000, some cost $5,554 dollars 99 cents. You round down to 5,000.
right.
So then they just take the $54. You have to pay that $54 goes to New York State, and the rest just goes to the business.
Kind of like a finder's fee.
It's like a
is
tax, a hidden tax.
Yeah. So on your refund, that's what I got. I got 5,049.
That's not what I'm
99.
saying at all. But I'm saying that
But you're
they're
actually
taking
got-
money. They're like when you
Okay.
buy something, they're getting that extra
But when
money.
I cashed, I can only cash 5,000. So
You're not going to
Did
get
they-
anything. You're not going to get 5,000. You're not going to get anything in your tax return from that.
nothing.
Now-
Nothing.
Now,
Nothing.
didn't they get rid of daylight savings? Did that go away yet? Did they vote on that?
I think this next one is the last one. It
Okay.
will go back and then it will not change
Really?
again. I
Okay.
believe.
So does that mean, since it's tied to that whatever way the rounding is at that point, that's it? If we,
I'd be okay with that.
That's it.
I wasn't listening to
So right now, is it round up or round down right now, Jay?
it. It was fall back, so you
Fall
got to round
back,
down.
so it's rounding down.
Yeah.
And
What do we run down? Does it include math problems in school? Anytime you buy something?
yeah, and
Everything?
Speed limits.
Speed limits? So if you're so a lot of them are 65.
Right.
So
So
you
I'm-
can round
I
up
could
to
go
70.
90 now.
But when you're
No, you're
rounding
rounding
back,
back. It's fall back, so you
so
got
you got to round down.
So you got to go slower.
Right.
Like if you go 65, you're getting a ticket. You need to go what, 60,
unless it's
right?
the fall for spring forward, and then
Spring forward,
you
then
don't
you
need
can
to do that.
Then you
You
can,
can speed all you want.
yeah, correct.
I mean, you could say the cop can pull you over, and you can say like, "Well, I rounded up to the nearest hundredth, not the nearest tenth."
Well, if you're
right?
if you're going 50, you could round up to 100.
You can
But
say,
if you're
"I
going
round up."
65, you can only go to 70.
But the same thing, the cop can come to pull you over and say, "Listen, I'm rounding down to 0, and you're 50 miles per hour over. It's 50
right?
mile per hour speed
Yeah.
limit."
Oh, for sure.
So depending
Well,
on what you're rounding to,
Well, it depends on the month too, or the
the year,
season. Right?
season,
I mean, you got to follow the rules. If it's a law, it's a law.
whose rules?
The New York State law. Well, it depends on what state you're in.
You know who's really going to benefit from all of this is the calculator industry.
Oh,
I think this could be a ploy from the calculator industry.
they
I think
have
they
to sell
could
you a
have
new one every
Right.
time.
right every
It
what
changes,
6
right?
months.
Very
Yeah.
good. That's
Crazy.
very good. Yeah, that's true. 4 or less.
Okay, so
letter
they
less.
couldn't put a little lever, a little button on there where you can slide it to round up or slide it to round down.
Again, though, see, this is unfair here. This 1, 2, 3, 4 is there's less rounding going there. There's more rounding in 5. So you really fall back. You're really stealing.
Well, if you're
Well, you got 5 and 4. You got 4 and 5, and then you go the other way. You'll have 5 and 4. And to Jay's point, every 6 months you change. It'll be fair, and in the long run, it'll round even.
I see.
yeah, that's why gamblers will bet more in the spring because the odds are more for them.
In
I
their
think,
favor,
so.
sure.
The over
Yeah.
under.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. Enough said.
So true.
Okay.
The answer is true.
True.
That's it. We don't have any more issues, and we just want to thank everyone for watching.
Yeah. Thank you, Emily, and Arms of the Father. You really are great. And
Are
thank
there
you
more
for
comments down
watching.
there?
There are comments. That
scroll
was we were a
down?
little late. No, I don't know. Maybe I should have missed all those
We have
comments.
more comments.
I don't know. It's
Maybe.
not. Oh, it's not. No, that's it.
Okay.
They said people
All right.
stopped talking after a while.
This wasn't live, right?
Just for the people watching, it was live. Anybody who was dead would not have seen it.
Okay.
So we just want to thank everyone. Oh, can my
You-
cursor?
You can
my thing
just
work?
say
Okay.
thank you for watching
For
Issuenight.
watching
Issuenight! See you next week, same time, later. Bye.